Jamshid and Long-Ears Magical Journey to Ancient China. It was early morning by the lake. Jamshid sat quietly, watching the sunlight dance on the water. Beside him was his best friend, a fluffy white rabbit with long ears, named Long-Ears. Suddenly, a soft glowing light appeared in the sky. It shimmered like a star and floated down toward them. Before Jamshid could say a word, the light burst into a swirl of color, and in an instant, they were no longer at home. They were standing in a small village in China, surrounded by tall mountains and bamboo forests. Jamshid looked around in amazement. "Long-Ears, where are we?" he whispered. The rabbit twitched his nose and looked just as confused. As they walked through the village, they saw red lanterns swaying in the wind and people hurrying by with baskets of rice. But in the center of the village, a crowd had gathered. A young man named Li Shen was struggling by the river, trying to fix a broken watermill. He explained that the wheel had stopped turning. And without it, the fields were drying up, the whole village was in trouble. Jamshid stepped forward. "We can help," he said with confidence. Li Shen looked surprised but smiled kindly. "You're travelers, aren't you?" Jamshid grinned. "Maybe, but we're also adventurers." Together they went to the riverbank. Long-Ears jumped into the shallow water and began to pull away the branches and mud clogging the wheel. Jamshid used a stick to push the wheel into place. And suddenly, the water began to flow again. The wheel spun faster and faster, sending fresh water through the irrigation channels. The villagers cheered and clapped in joy. Li Shen bowed deeply. "You've saved us," he said gratefully. "You've saved our harvest." He handed Jamshid a small amulet, carved with the shape of a dragon. "This will protect you on every journey," he said. That night, Jamshid and Long-Ears rested beside the river. The moon shone bright above the mountains, and the sound of water was calm and soothing. Jamshid held the amulet close while drifting off to sleep. The village houses are dark and quiet now. The sound of crickets fills the cool night air. When Jamshid woke up the next morning, they were back home beside their familiar lake. Everything was as before, except for one thing. Around Jamshid's neck glowed the dragon amulet, shining softly in the sun. Jamshid smiled. "So it wasn't a dream, Long-Ears. We really went to China." The rabbit's ears twitched, and he looked up at the sky as if saying, "Another adventure awaits us somewhere." Jamshid adjusted the glowing dragon amulet. He stood up, ready to face the day. Long-Ears hopped excitedly beside him. They glanced back briefly at the lake one last time. And together, they walked toward the horizon. Ready for the next journey. The sun cast long, hopeful shadows behind them. The dragon amulet shone as a beacon of their shared experience. The music swells slightly with a hopeful flute melody. They disappear into the path leading onward. A reminder of the watermill that still turns. A red lantern hangs perfectly still in the silent Chinese evening. Close up on the texture of the dragon amulet again,